evening and welcome into another episode of the Delco Duo right here on PHL 17. I'm one half of the Delco Duo, Monica Cryan.
And I'm Jenna Meisner. Thanks so much for spending some time with us on your Saturday. The last thing you do on your Saturday heading into Sunday.
Yes, and then you get the Sunday scaries right after us.
Absolutely.
So we are heading through the holiday season. Really quickly, and I feel like last weekend when we were on Saturday nights, a lot of people were decorating while we were giving our advice on your concerns, on your questions.
That's kind of late to decorate.
No, 11:30?
Yeah.
That's such a beautiful time to decorate.
That's the time when you rearrange the ornaments that your children have put onto the tree. They go to bed. Thanks for the help, but now it's time to fix them.
Okay, so now
That's the kind of mom I am.
I just learned that is your kids.
Well, they put them all in one. They put them all in one spot on the tree, and then it's just it's got to be even.
But that's how they want their tree to look.
Then get them their own tree.
Okay. Well, let's talk more about that in the debrief. And we always talk about how each Christmas I always notice an aesthetic that people are trying to go for. Mm-hmm. And I feel like recently, within the last few years, like during the pandemic and everything, it was very neutral. Like even the ornaments were like a beige.
Boring.
And
I am so neutral. Like I live and breathe by neutrals. My house, not the holiday season, is very neutral. But for Christmas,
yes,
you got to breathe some color.
And this year, I've been seeing a lot on like Instagram.
Well,
and stuff.
Candyland has been the theme this year. I know the White House did it, but before the White House did it, I saw a ton of decorations, like a Candyland themed Christmas, like a lot of decor that has like the peppermints on it and things. I've seen it everywhere,
which makes me happy because I don't buy new decor every year.
I don't either.
I go with what I have, and then sometimes I'll add like a few things here and there. But in general, every year looks the same. Every Christmas looks the same.
And we talked last episode about you were going to get your Christmas tree, so you have since done that.
Yes.
We have photos actually of what our houses are looking like this holiday season.
So here it is. I am your traditional Christmas. I love the reds. I love the warm lights.
I'm the same way. Look, red. Nothing revolutionary about this decorating here, except now we have a baby swing. Baby swing adds a little spice to it, you know what I mean?
Jenna and I are so funny. Like
these look the same.
Yeah, this is the same house. Jenna and I basically just took a picture, and we could have used one.
I like that you do the Santa hat on your tree, though. I do the star, so even more basic than.
That's so traditional, and I think that we would love to do that, but just one year, Eugene and I, before we had kids.
It's also a lot easier just to put a hat on, because the star has to be, in the right spot, has to be sitting upright. The hat, it's just like...
We just threw that on top, and we were like, wait, we actually really like this aesthetic, so let's go with it. We would love to see your Christmas pictures. Send them to us, Delco Duo at PHL 17. Let us know if you kind of did your decor. Did you do traditional?
We're not interior designers, so we're impressed by anything. Send us your decorations, even outside too. I mean, Tate, my husband did the outside, and he did the pillars. He wrapped them. We have like pillars in the front of our house. He wrapped them, and then the the lights, one of the strings didn't work after he did all of the work. So he plugged them in, he tested them in the house, and then he brought it outside. And for whatever reason, it either short-circuited or so now he's got to take it down. Our outside we're having a tough time right now.
Oh, that stinks. You're running out of time.
I know. We got to fix it like now.
Okay. Send us your pictures. All right, let's get to our first topic of the evening. And this comes from Sasha from Springfield.
All right, so my boyfriend and I have always done holidays separately, but now that we live together, people think it's weird. He suggested alternating holidays with our families, but I don't want to do that. His grandparents are no longer living, rest in peace, and any holiday could be my grandparents' last.
Yeah, Sasha, I would not use the grandparents' last as the reason to celebrate with your family, because if your grandparents do pass, then that was your number one driving force. So don't drive that home and say like, oh, I have to because my grandparents. Because then if your grandparents aren't around,
spoke that into existence.
Yes, exactly.
Sasha, I hope your grandparents aren't watching. Like you're like, death's on your door, Grandpop. I gotta come to Christmas with you. Like,
right.
It is so morbid, but she has a point.
Yeah,
she has a point.
I just think the number one point is it's not about the grandparents. It's not about whose family, what. You guys aren't married yet. I really think
so. You can think spend living together doesn't change.
No.
Let's break this down into two parts. Is it weird for significant others to not spend the holidays together if they've been together for a while, they live together, and they're on the trajectory to get married?
No, I don't think it's weird. I don't. I think
it's
especially
weird.
If you want to, if you're like, let's just do separate holidays. We've been doing it for a while.
But then the whole time you're there, you're asked about this person. Where's so-and-so? Where's so-and-so? I could see my mom or, a sibling or a relative just constantly asking where your boyfriend or girlfriend is.
Yeah, but then I also see the other side of it too. Then if that person does not show up whatsoever because they were spending it with the other side, it's like, well, why are they missing their family's holiday when, sad to say, but it's just a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Or it's just a girlfriend.
Here's what you have to do. You have to marry somebody or date somebody that's not from your area. And then you have to work a job that requires you to work holidays. So Monica and I have the same exact situation.
That's what I'm saying.
Both married men that are not from the area. So it's impossible to see each other's families. It's impossible, I should say, to see their family on actual holidays because in this job, we work on holidays.
Right.
So we both celebrate the weekend before, like or like your in-laws are coming in this weekend. Right. And then I'm going the next weekend.
Yes.
So that's your hack. Get a new job and move forward.
Yeah, work holidays so that you don't ever have to go anywhere for those holidays. Right. You're like, sorry, I can't. I have to work. And then you're just always solidified. That's where I was saying, when you use grandparents as an excuse, or not as an excuse, but as your number one reason. And then maybe, 10 years down the road, they're not there, then you can't use that reason anymore. So come up with a good reason. Like I
think the grandparents think it though as well, because Tate, he has 3 of his grandparents still living, which is just amazing in itself. I have no grandparents living anymore. So his grandparents are always saying, this might be my last Christmas.
They do?
His meme has been saying that it's been her last Christmas for years. Like, you're hanging on, girl. It is not your last Christmas. But every year, it's like, guys, this might be my last Christmas. Come see me. So it's also like maybe Sasha's grandparents are planting the seed.
That's some master manipulation there, and I appreciate it. You got to do what you got to do to get your family home with you, because that's what
we'll see her next weekend. So don't worry, we're coming, okay?
Meme, Hoopa,
Pepe.
Oh, Pepe.
They're French Canadian. All right, coming up next, we're talking about Christmas lists and teenagers. That's an interesting topic. So stay with us.
Oh my goodness. And welcome back to the Delco Duo, the show where we take your questions, concerns, issues, and then we try and help you out. But a lot of this is like holiday-ish.
Yeah, we're dressed like the holidays.
Go ahead, tell
red
me about
and green.
your shirt.
Monica bought me this shirt 2 years ago, and
good friend.
Every single holiday since then, it has made an appearance on the Delco Duo. I was very into White Claws at the time. I've since moved on from White Claws, especially in December. They're not like a they're not a winter drink.
No, that's a total summer drink. But yeah, Jen and I were saying we're just full on Pinot Noir.
Yep, just red wine this time of year is nothing like it.
Yeah, hopefully you're enjoying a nice glass of Pinot Noir while watching. But let's get to our next issue now.
Okay, this one's coming from Earl from Eddystone.
What happened to the days of affordable Christmas presents? My teenager's list is filled with brands like Lululemon, Uggs, and Stanley. Have you seen the Instagrams that are like watching my daughter pick out a new Lululemon socks while I've been in the Walmart ones since high school?
Right? That's what I'm thinking.
I feel that way so much.
Younger and younger. Like, I used to ask for a Barbie or, like a toy. And yes, some of the toys nowadays are expensive.
Right.
But when we're talking about Lululemon and we're talking about Stanley
brands,
and we're talking about brands, that stuff is very expensive for young kids.
The only thing I can say is, like, I think it's every generation that thinks, you know, the younger ones are so brand obsessed. And when I was growing up, for me, it was like Limited Too and Abercrombie and Fitch. And it was the same pushback. My mom just saying, that stuff is way too expensive. Yeah. I can get you stuff at Marshall's and TJ Maxx for much less. And I'm like, but I don't want that. You
don't want the fake
Abercrombie
brand.
And
you want the real deal. And I think even Uggs have been a brand that's been transcended all generations.
Which is so crazy.
I was asking for Uggs. I remember when I was a teenager.
And they were expensive then.
And the Stanley, have you seen the videos of kids opening Stanleys? I saw a video the other day. It went viral online. Maybe you saw it at home. It was a 9-year-old and it was her birthday party and she opened up, you know, one of the Stanley cups. If you're not familiar, we have one over there. I should have brought it over.
Everyone knows what they look like now.
But you would have thought she was opening up $1 million. Like, her friends were losing their minds.
No way.
She held the Stanley up like it was like the NHL Stanley Cup and everyone was cheering. And
but I guess that's better than expecting it and then when you do get it, be like, oh, it's just, you know, those things are kind of expensive for what they are.
I think it really depends upon if your teen, how involved your teen is on social media, in particular TikTok. TikTok has all of the gifting ideas, especially in December. I mean, you see everything that's trending. So if your teenager is just constantly scrolling on TikTok, then yes, they're going to want the brands that find their way. I don't know if it's advertisement, how they get on there, or really just a lot of people are just those things get so popular.
Brand ambassadors,
things like the one so popular.
Like when they are like, "Hey, I'm doing a Lululemon haul." I'm like, "Don't look, don't even look, don't watch."
Lululemon is just. I was in the store.
It has a grip on this.
It has a grip.
Society right now.
I was in the store this past weekend, and just some of the stuff I couldn't imagine the prices.
It's crazy. It
was like a winter hat with a little like, you know, fuzz ball on the top. Just
you're $60.
It was close to $70. I'm like, what? And kids are asking. So as a parent, your teen is asking for these things. How do you navigate that?
So I actually feel like during Christmas time and during their birthdays, this is the time to buy them the brand stuff that they want because these are presents. This is something that they really, really want. During the regular year, and I'm like, hey, back to school shopping, we're not getting you that brand stuff. Yeah. This is back to school shopping. We're just getting you a bunch of, you know, things that we can actually afford. But when it comes to Christmas and for the birthdays, if they're asking for that, you can say, hey, I'll get that for you, or Santa can get that for you. But you have to remember that that's going to be a big present.
Well, that's what my thinking would be if I had a teenager who had this list full of things that just, you're not getting all of it.
Yes.
What is your most important item on this list that you want?
Absolutely.
Is it the Uggs? Is it the Stanley Cup? Is it a pair of leggings from Lululemon? Because you'll get one of them, but you're not going to get all of it.
I don't know. This was something I always remember. I really wanted a Tiffany's bracelet. Oh my God. And I just thought it was like normal. All my friends are getting them. So I'm like, hey, I want a Tiffany's bracelet. My mom was like, say what?
I will say.
Nice. And then she took me, but that was it, man.
One Christmas, my parents won a auction item for Tiffany's. Fun. So my sisters and I, we all got pieces from Tiffany from this auction item. And I remember thinking at the time, like I was Jeff Bezos. Like I was Elon Musk. I was a billionaire.
Same. I walked into school.
I had all the money.
I walked into school January 3rd, like, look at my Tiffany.
Right. And that's the other thing. Like your teenager goes back to school and, you know, maybe the other kids got all the things they wanted. And it's hard. Being a teenager is hard, especially when you're living in such a brand-centric world. So
with like you said, social media that pushes and pushes it and pushes it.
Do the best you can, whatever you can afford. Get them at least one thing. Go on Poshmark if you want to get get it secondhand. Plato's Closet.
I was just about to say Plato's Closet has really, really good because sometimes they don't even care what it is. They just want that brand. Mm-hmm. So get them.
And don't even tell them that it's not directly from the place. They won't know the
Plato's Closet, Clothes Mentor. You can go and buy that sweatshirt that has the brand on it.
Right.
and tell me.
Although, Mom, the jacket that I want for Christmas, do not dupe me. I really do want that new parka, okay? I know she's watching, so she's probably getting ideas like...
Dupes are... I have dupe Uggs, and I love them.
They're great.
I love my dupe Uggs.
All right, coming up next, we have our own issue to bring to the table, and it's my mom trying to get me a dupe jacket for... No, just kidding.
Do the dupe, Lynn. Do the dupe.
Stay with us. We'll be back.
And welcome back to the Delco Duo. And so we talked about 2 issues from this week and very holiday themed. Is your issue holiday themed?
It is. It is holiday themed. So let's talk about it.
Let's hear about it. Meisner needs an advisor.
So as I mentioned, I was at the mall this past weekend. First and last time I will be doing that this holiday season. It was just a reminder why I like to do everything online. And it's such a shame. You want to go to these malls. The malls they're closing. Malls are closing all the time, or stores are leaving malls just because, not a lot of people are going anymore. But I mean, my point there was disproven when I went on Sunday, because it was like everyone and their mother was at the KOP mall.
You went to
KOP
Sunday
in
the middle of the day
when it was raining.
Okay.
Holiday season. Scary.
People don't have anything to do other than shop.
King of Prussia Mall, I say malls are closing. I mean, like the smaller malls. King of Prussia Mall is more of like an attraction.
Yes, very true.
It's a tourist attraction for people in the area, just all the things you hear about it, all the things you can do, the stores, whatever. So
let me tell you something. Springfield Mall has been smooth sailing.
But a lot of the stores are closed. Like, a lot of the areas are empty. That's what I mean.
They still
like
have
the Granite Run Mall will always forever hold a spot in my heart, and that closed. And now it's that big home store.
Yes, the home store. But then they still have like Boscov's.
Right. I think, did the Sears close? The Sears closed.
No,
is it? No,
I think the Sears.
If you're not from Delaware County, you're like, what are you talking about right now? It is just a mall that was a part of my childhood.
Yes.
That
you grew up walking around the mall. It certainly doesn't have the Deb anymore, but Sears I think is more just like cars or something. But anyway,
cars.
Like Sears Auto. The auto. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Like,
not
Sears didn't have cars.
They don't sell cars, but they have the auto center or something.
Okay, so anyway, went to the King of Prussia Mall, and the purpose was we were all going to see Santa at the mall.
Your sisters.
My sisters, my mom, we all went. So when you go to see Santa at the KOP Mall, you can either walk up or you can make a reservation. The reservations is a whole other issue that we could talk about. I mean, it's like getting your kids' school pictures.
Okay.
The wallet sizes, the printouts, and this is costing upwards of $60, $70 now.
Absolutely.
When I just want the picture on my phone. I just want the picture on my phone. I don't need the wallet cut out. I don't need the...
They know that that's all you want, and they're not just going to give that to you, because then...
they lose business.
They do. Absolutely. I can't tell you how many school photos I'm like, I really want this, but they want to charge me for...
They put the big like demo across it,
yeah,
like the watermark.
And then the packages are like 5 printouts and then the digital image, but all together it's like $90.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm not going to spend $90. I understand I get pictures and the digital image, but all I really want is that digital image.
So you can make a reservation or you can walk up. We did not make a reservation because we have a 6-month-old, so I didn't know what his temperament was going to be. If he was not happy, I was not about to,
Yeah.
So we just were going to play it by ear. My one sister, who's very much like me, made a reservation. My other sister, who tends to be more relaxed and just,
Cooler,
whatever way the wind
Nicer.
blows her, she did not make a reservation. So we show up. The lines, you would have thought that it was like I don't know who's like the biggest star right now. Like you would have thought
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you would have thought it was Taylor Swift.
T Swift came to KOP.
You would have thought it was Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce taking pictures with people. They're the hottest couple right now. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Anyway. So the sister who made the reservation and the sister who did not make the reservation both ended up waiting the same amount of time. So
which is that's such a cool trial to see.
Right? Like, so what is the point of making a reservation?
Nothing.
Is my question.
I think it's so that they
pay ahead of time.
The companies can gauge just what to expect. You know what I mean?
You end up like my one sister's husband who made the reservation. He could not wrap his head around the fact that he was also waiting with all of the people who were walking up.
Well, I'm surprised they even have, if they know that the reservations are filling up and they have, 5-minute slots, bam, 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 back to back, don't even have a walk-up option.
Well,
don't even give people that
the walk-up line was empty. So my sister who made the reservation just waltzed up that and was like, haha, like thought that it was the reservation line. And they're like, man, this is the walk-up line. The reservation line was actually longer.
I'm sure.
Because I think it's that pressure. Like you were saying last week, you buy the time tickets, like the holiday, you got to get all your things done. Check, check, check. So everyone's like, oh, I got to make these reservations.
Right.
And then you end up waiting the same amount of time that the walk-up line's waiting.
Yeah, I think, since the pandemic, there's been a lot of these like reservations for silly things that could just be simply walk up. Yeah. You know what I mean? I wish we would all just start going back to the walk up of Santa.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a tried and true tradition.
Yep.
That was so much better than having half the people. You're going to really make some people angry.
And then the other issue, if any kids are up right now, we're talking about Santa. So, bye. But so there was another Santa, right across the courtyard. And I said to my sister, oh, well, we might go to the other Santa on our way out because Cruz is starting to lose it. And then her daughter was like, well, which one's the real one? I'm like, oh my God.
What did I just do?
Well, you see, and then I just I tell her the story that Santa needs helpers that look like him because there's so many kids.
Yes.
So don't have two Santas close to one another either, please.
No, exactly.
It puts you in a bind.
I think many, many families probably ran into that. A lot of times families are doing multiple parts of the mall, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, I thought Santa was just, okay.
Oh, gosh. Love it. All right, let's talk about trivia. What's the question this week, Monica?
A fun one. The Festival of Lights at Rose Tree Park originally had 50 decorated trees. What did they represent?
Okay, so here's the question. The Festival of Lights at Rose Tree Park originally had 50 decorated trees. What did they represent?
First, I thought 50, the states. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be the states. But no.
No, one tree for each municipality and one large tree to represent the county.
Wow. I didn't know we had 50 municipalities.
That's a lot of thought into a holiday decorate. They were like, okay. I mean, because this has been going on for decades.
Okay, so as you can see here, the park now has 100 lit trees and festivals.
Over 100.
I mean, look at that. That's
crazy. They
crazy.
have like the moving, displays, like the penguins that are fishing in the ice, and all the gifts and really cool things.
Yes. So they've expanded because they just realized.
I don't even think people would have known that though. Like, you just go to see Christmas lights. Like, I love the thought. I love the effort. But I don't think anyone would have been like, these are for the 49 municipalities and the county.
Yes. And it's like, it's just, they were so symbolic back then. Nowadays, it's just like, light up enough trees so that thousands and thousands of people can come every night to see.
The forklifts have been going since November. I mean, they officially opened last weekend.
Yes.
So you can go see it. It is now up and running. And it was kind of sad because it opened on like a really rainy night.
It did.
So I'm sure the
rain did stop at one point.
Yeah.
But I love how they've had to expand just because of the sheer number of people who go there every night.
I miss some of the original structures though.
Yep.
Like there's this one slope by Rose Tree Park. If you're familiar with it, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not, you'll have no idea. They used to have the Rudolph.
Yes.
They had like the red nose, and I used to love driving by that. Now that just says Season's Greetings.
Yeah, because they're like, we need to put up 50 more displays and 1,000 more trees because 40,000 people come a night.
I mean, it is definitely great. Like, it's become way more inclusive. Like, it's not just Christmas anymore. Like, all holidays are represented, which is so important. So I do love that. But I'll definitely be checking it out.
It's truly magical. So I love it, and I appreciate that they do it, and I appreciate that it's free.
Yeah,
because not a lot of events and not a lot of things.
Crowded, though, because it's like when you go to park there, you got to be ready to walk, and it's usually muddy. Like, so wear the right shoes.
Yes.
Don't go after it rains.
Don't wear your Christmas best, but enjoy.
No, I went Christmas Eve one night, and my
favorite.
heels were sinking. Oh my God.